Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, this is an exciting day right here. We have a special guest today. We have our sister here, and she has some exciting news that we want to share. This is the T.A.P.OUTBOYZ. Tap in before you tap out. And we got a twist on it today. We're going to be tapping into some flavor on the day for this new season that we're about to walk in. So, man of God, I'm going to pass it to you. Introduce yourself before we introduce our guests.
Yes, sir. I think y'all know me by now. I'm Minister Joel, but I am just excited to have my sister here today, here from our home church, New Life Fellowship Church in Worthing. We have Prophetess Tabitha Tucker. When I tell you, you have been having an amazing year already, and the year just started.
Yes.
So what we want to ask you is, what inspired you to do what you're doing? I'm going to let you, present your own product, but the viewers probably want to know, what was your inspiration to even get started?
My inspiration to get started, I was a single mother, and I had to cook for my children. And I love cooking, and cooking is a passion of mine. So therefore, it led me to doing the seasoning line. And it just kind of spiraled from there.
Well, eating is a passion of mine. So yeah, that would be right down in my arena right there. Yes, sir. So that's good right there to start with. So, but like he said, I mean, this season just has taken off. You had viral videos. You've been on station to station. And what I love about in knowing you is knowing a glimpse of your testimony and knowing the going through. And I think a lot of people, we never meet our potential because we let the journey and the struggle there, sometimes it hinders us.
Yes.
So the beautiful thing is, I remember times where you would come, you would give testimony every time that God had done something in your life, and you would give God the glory, and you were so into the ministry, and you had faith to believe that God was going to take this to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I know during that time and taking it to a whole nother level, you had to go through some stuff.
Yes.
I know some naysayers had to show up. I know some struggles had to show up.
Yeah.
Because even while you was doing the season, you had to be going through a season of yourself where doubt had to creep in, and the devil had to come in. So we know that obstacles and things like that, stumbling blocks, came along the way. What kept you pressing forward and realizing your dream coming true?
What kept me pressing forward was knowing that God was in my heart, and my children and my grandchildren, because it wasn't easy. My daughter was pregnant with twins.
Wow.
As you guys know. She had to be incarcerated, get out, move into my home with 5 children.
Wow.
Amongst all of that. So there were a lot of factors that took into effect of the reason why I want to press on.
Wow.
I couldn't give up. I couldn't let up, because knowing that my children and my grandchildren relied on me, it just made me want to go harder and harder for what it is that I wanted.
When I think about your testimony and saying that, because there are going to be viewers out there that everybody has a dream at some point, and I think sometimes we have to reflect on life and go back to, when did we let the dream die? Because sometimes when life happens, we'll push our dreams to the side. And we'd hurry. Absolutely.
I did. I pushed everything to the side for quite a while. And then I had to get re-inspired.
Tell us about that.
The re-inspiration came after my daughter and the kids had to move into my home. Finances. Oh my God. I needed finances. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm working for myself. Nobody's giving me anything. My daughter's not working, they're relying on me. and I'm doing everything that I can. So I started putting seasonings together. I started cooking from home, started selling dishes, started selling plates. I created the seasoning, gave a sample to a customer, and she spreaded the word. It kind of took off, and it just went from there. And it just, it has not stopped.
Wow.
It has not stopped.
I know I've heard a lot of people talking about how awesome your seasons are. Like, people are talking about it. And what's it called? Lilies?
Yes.
Where did you get the name Lily from?
Okay, so that's very interesting. I knew that would come up. So Lily's, when I was in the kitchen one night, about 3 a.m. in the morning, mind you, I don't know why I was up like that, but then it came to me after.
Okay.
So backing up a little bit, I had started saving seasoning bottles. What I had previously used, I had a cabinet full of bottles over here in the corner. Don't know why I had the bottles there. Something said, just don't throw away the bottles. I had the bottles there. One day my youngest daughter came in and she said, Mama, what are you doing with all those bottles up there in the cabinet? And I said, I don't know. I said, but don't throw them away. I need those. Long story short. So I'm in the kitchen one night. I just started mixing and blending. And I went to the cabinet and I got one of those bottles down.
Wow.
And the Lord had put in my spirit, before I can order new bottles, I was to use all those old bottles that I had saved. Then I can place an order for some. And that's why I knew then it was destined, for me to create the seasoning line, because God had already lined it up.
Wow. Let me tell you what's amazing about that is that goes to, we haven't released it yet, man of God, our actual last episode, Connecting the Dots. It's like I literally saw it into it. She said she was going through something and she didn't realize what was happening. Right. But then when it happened, you connect the dots to why God had you and saved those bottles. So that always gave me chills when I think about it. And I wore my Connect the Dots shirts today. Yesterday. No, they were good. They have to connect the dots. So, and I said this coming into this season that we're in Romans 8:28, all things work to the good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So when you keep loving God and you stay in your purpose, everything's going to work out. Even the trial, well, it'll end up being fuel just to get you propelled on down the road to, ultimately take you where your destiny is. So, now you got the bottles and you started this off. So, but you don't have the finances going forward. But God has already gave you some provision without finances, which is a testimony all in itself. But let's go to the next step. Where does the funding come from?
Oh my God. So
Take your time.
So, okay, I used every credit card that I had. I used Apple Pay, Zip, Klarna, Affirm, everything that I had under my name that I could order products offline and use my credit and pay now, buy later. I did it that way.
Wow. And while that was taking place, you didn't probably know that God was enlarging your territory. Even though you was maxing out on the cards we had, God was maxing out on his blessings.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to operate in a certain way so God can reflect how we're moving and he can operate the same way.
Absolutely.
So that is awesome.
I utilized all of that, and I went and I bought stock, went online to get bulk stock or whatever, and I was putting everything together, trying to make sure I could stock this store, I can have stock for my customers. I put up an online site, and we were trying to juggle between all of those because I was needed to make ends meet. The rent, I faced eviction, but I didn't get evicted. Made the light bill, took care of the water bill, took care of the gas bill, insurance, everything. And
So you will supply all of our needs. That's what
of our need.
all of our needs
I was
are.
able to take care of all of that.
And that's one thing I think, people sometimes, it sounds good when they say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. But the truth is, you got to balance two budgets.
It is
You got to balance the home budget. You got to balance the business budget. And many times they don't coincide and you can't see it. And so you find yourself robbing Peter to pay Paul. And it's like me, sometimes Peter and Paul, they both mad because they both done got shorted out of this stuff.
Absolutely. It is not easy being an entrepreneur because you have to encourage yourself. You have to encourage yourself. You have to push. You have to press. You have to pray.
And I know one thing has to be hard too when you think about going into seasoning and you talking about food. And I'm a Northern eating, I understand that everybody got different taste buds.
Absolutely.
So you have to wonder, like, am I gonna hit the right market? Am I in the right place? Even in placement of, going into the store, is this the right store for this? Because everybody think that their food tastes good.
Right.
I mean, so you're battling all those things and people have different taste buds and different palates and everything like that. So tell me about your process. Like, even after you knew that God was in it, how did you see in your vision how God was going to lead you and place your product on the shelves?
Well, when I knew that God was going to allow me to go into the stores, the yes was so easy because the process that it took for me to get into the store was not a hard process.
Wow.
I tried before and there were stumbling blocks. There were struggles. I couldn't get into the store. And then when I applied again and the process was easy and it was a simple yes and send your product over without a problem, without a hindrance, then I knew it was time.
So you had to wait on your season to put your seasons out.
To wait my season to
put the season.
the season was there.
I got a question I want to ask there, because when you've received a note and you've tried, there's a scripture in the Bible, you might get hit me out, teacher, but when they had cultivated the field and then they yielded wild grapes, they went back, they did it again, and wild grapes came again. In your process in getting the no, then knowing you was getting the yes, what changed in Prophetess Tabitha that made the difference?
I stood steadfast. It's kind of hard to explain, but the change that took in me, I really wanted to be known as the person you can go to, that you can. When I make it, I want to help somebody else make it as well.
Man, that's a plus.
So there's in many ways I can kind of answer that. It kind of stumbles me on that one.
I understand. Sometimes because, your season is kind of like your baby now. And, so talking about that can actually choke you up. No pun intended. So I don't know how spicy it is. No pun intended. So I definitely understand that. I just sometimes, like, during that process, sometimes we have to be cultivated.
Yes.
For our success. Sometimes we think that we fail, but it's not that we fail, but we've been denied because we weren't ready.
Right.
And sometimes I know in my life, I can recognize, what? I couldn't have dealt with this success in this area until I was ready. It wasn't that the success there wasn't ready. It was always there. I know I always had it there, but I wasn't ready. So then we had to go back to, we had to wait in time for the season.
Right.
Right.
Right. And I knew, when it was my season, when God gave me the yes, when the process became easy.
Yes.
Because it was no hindrances at all. And no blockages.
That's when God is operating.
Yes, there were no blockages, no hindrances. And I, get the emails that are flowing through, and this store's approved, this store's approved. And I have 13 stores that I can go and ship.
About to ask you. Yeah, I was just about to ask you how many locations.
I have 13 locations that I can
13 locations.
with the potential of more.
13 is a good number too.
Yes.
13 is a good number. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a list of that, so we
We'll post that. So everybody needs to know the location where you can get Lily's seasoning. I want everybody to patronize her, go get the seasoning. So that way when we come to your house and I'm anointed to eat, that your food don't taste bad. We know Lily's seasoning is in it and it's gonna be good. Exactly.
Bun bubble, bun bubble.
Yeah.
So what are your plans? Like, what is your vision? I would say for the next 5 years from where you're at now, where do you see yourself 5 years, or what's your intentions of where you want to be at in 5 years?
To be in every grocery store chain that I can be in.
Awesome. I love our speed day is done.
Man, I love that. She didn't put no nibble of that. There be no sip. Yes. Every one that I can't. It was really
Yeah.
that is awesome.
One that I
Do you plan on expanding like to other, I know you're doing season, but maybe another variation of seasoning?
I am. I already have some wrote down. I have the vision. I already wrote it down.
Right.
So I gotta cultivate that.
Right.
Like Prophet said. So there are some more that are gonna be coming up here in the near future.
Awesome.
There
Can you give us a hint about one, so the viewers can have something to look forward to? Just as a big, not all of it, but just give us so we have to agree. It's just like, yeah, what meat we gonna put the season on?
Right. That'll work.
What the steaks is, if it's a steak.
I was looking. I'm big on the steaks.
Now, well, I know we've been talking about your seasons, but you cook as well, right? I've heard known for cooking. Now, do you plan on opening up your own restaurant, maybe?
maybe a little bit further down the line. I'll do, a brick and mortar, but for now, I'm gonna run this right here.
Okay. That is awesome. What kind of advice would you give to a young Black woman out there right now in 2025 that have the same aspirations that you have? Maybe not in seasoning, but they could have a vision or a dream of doing something, but they're going through a tough time. They're probably a single mother, as you're familiar with, and they probably need some encouragement. Now we know that through Christ, all things are possible. But with you being a vessel that Christ has used to show that all things are possible, what kind of advice would you give, to that young lady that's watching right now?
What I would like to say is that you have to hold on. You can't give up. You can't give in, and you definitely can't let the devil win.
Amen. Awesome.
You have to just stay steadfast.
Yes.
And pursue your dreams. Sometimes you might get delayed, but you won't be denied, especially if you have a relationship with Christ.
Amen.
I wanna go here. We know you got the viral video. A lot of times people like to know, like,
when you see a good movie or something like a cult classic, a lot of times like, when did you know? And it's like Friday. When they did Friday, like, did y'all know? They was like, no, we didn't know we had enough. Then it became like a classic movie, and it's for all these sequels. When did you know in that video? And I watched like 5 times yesterday.
it's hilarious. I watched it like 5 times, and I ain't gonna lie,
I don't even eat those food. I'm like, I want it to taste right. I gotta bring spoon the phone and grab it. Oh yes, I want it to taste it.
Well, I didn't really know he was viral until I kept getting hits, notifications or whatever. And I'm like, okay, probably just another, notification there. But then the notifications just kept coming. And I looked, and then someone said, you're over, 5,000 views. And then it hit 10,000 views. Then it hit, 100,000. And I was like, what? And then it done hit 1 million, and then 1.1 million, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't believe that it went viral like that. But yeah, and that's what I knew, that the video had went viral, and it just, went from there.
Wow. When I saw it, I was like, man, I don't know. I be thinking crazy and stuff. So I done thought about a commercial. Where the flavor is at? But the young man, I'm like, man, we open up a brick and mortar, and they kind of.
That's right. And I do have very dedicated customers that come, that are loyal to me, that'll come and just pull up to my house and say, hey, do you have some seasonings on hand? Like yesterday, I had an older lady. She called me and she said, can you bring me some by? I took it to her. And that's what I love, helping somebody, being able to help, somebody that's helped me.
Right.
Because I know the struggle has been real. And when I get to a place and a position where I'm able to help the next, that's what I want to do.
Right.
Just be able to help somebody else.
And us growing up down in the South, food is just big. It's culturally yours. Every event we have, what we eat. You know, that's always gonna come. What we eat, who cooked, you know, what they season like, what it tastes like. So it's a huge thing down here. So people almost get offended, man. Yeah. If there's a lack of flavor, people will get offended, you know. Yes. So that's an amazing thing to attribute your season with your seasoning. Yes. And that, you know, like you're saying, when the older lady, she's calling you, that's almost like certified. Absolutely. Because with we deal with a lot of ageism now, and they be like, these young folks can't cook no more. You know what I mean? Some of y'all need to go back in the kitchen. So that's good to have an elder lady saying, hey, I want some of Sister Tab season.
Yes, I have to post that video because she posted on there. She said, I can't cook without it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I went through the viral video and I went down there. I don't know if y'all checked to see some of the comments. There were a lot of people with a lot of influence that was on their comments, you know what I mean, like that. So, I mean, those could be connections for the future too, to branch out, you know. And I love, you know, when you said in every store, every retail store. So you didn't put no limitations on it.
No limitations.
So are any of your stores right now, is everything in Georgia? Have you reached outside yet?
No, I'm still in Georgia. I'm Southeast Georgia right now. I will have the capability of being able to do 100 of the KJs.
Okay.
But right now I'm doing just Southeast at the moment.
I'll ask them this. But yeah, I remember what's thinking Abrams barbecue sauce. I remember I met him one time when he was going around putting it in, and then later on it was amazing. I was in Walmart and I looked down and I saw Abrams barbecue sauce in Walmart, and I was like, I shook his hand over right thing. It was at the Harvest over here. He started Harvest first, and then I said he done made it to Walmart. I said he got to be doing pretty good at that. So yeah, we're gonna speak blessings over your life down there. Everything that you sowed in, that you get 100-fold return, and that God really blesses you to be the blessing that you desire. We speak blessings over your life with your children and your grandchildren, because we know that has not been an easy thing to do, trying to run a home and run a business at the same time. Because if we be frank about it, it's hard enough just running a home. Be an entrepreneur and run a behind that, you know, like that. It is so, and I know what you mean about, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul and you maxing their credit cards because you got your vision in it. But the beautiful thing is that you're attached to your faith to your dream. Yeah. You attach your faith to your vision. And I believe that's why God has blessed you in that time. Yeah. Because the video is a great video. But when I saw it, I said, now God did this.
That's absolutely.
You know, sometimes you see things and you say, you know what, this is good, but no, God did this.
Absolutely.
Some stuff is just God did.
God did.
For they hit 1.1 million. Well, I've seen some funny videos, they had 3,000 views. And I'm laying on the floor laughing, and it's a good product and everything. But when God says yes, it don't matter what nobody else say. So I'm almost out of questions. You know what I'm ready to do. I'm actually ready to taste the food. We're ready to take the seasons.
Yes. We got some food here. We're gonna feed them a little bit. Got my seasonings over there.
Way good.
So,
I'll post pictures of us eating, so you'll see it out there. Yeah. Us generally eat.
I wanted to eat first, but my brother, he didn't want me to have no sauce on my beard, because he said if it go viral, he didn't want to be looking bad.
as I asked, all right, we're gonna do the interview first, and we're gonna eat. He's there.
Interview.
Yes. So we want to thank all the viewers. We want to thank our lovely sister Tabitha for even blessing us now. Y'all will be catching her on news station. You'll catch her in the newspaper, and she will be on other podcasts too.
Yeah.
But we thank God that she blessed us here at New Life Christian Fellowship, that she came down here with our apostle Hagir, and they're watching and they're praying over her business and everything. And so we ask y'all to come down and worship with us sometime. Yes, sir. We ask y'all, guess what? To be thus minded, to tap into the flavor of living, baby. Tap out. And so we're excited about everything that God has done, everything he's doing, and certainly everything that he's about to do. And we thank you for tuning in. And until next time, remember, let God be the truth and every man a lie. God bless you the next time.
And I want to add one last thing to it. 7030 Highway 15, Worthing, Georgia, because this sister can sing too. So either come in, get some seasoning and some singing. God bless y'all.
Discussing everyday topic, wrestling, leaning, so we can lose all these strongholds, exposing these colors by putting the devil in a chokehold. The Holy Spirit sent C and Joel to one to fly with some signs that will keep it from hell. The Tap Out Boys about to make some noise. The teacher and the prophet discussing everyday.